So, Jed, what'd you make of today's match?
I thought it was a really nice hit out for us. Got some games into some younger players. It was good to see the three or four new guys with Jacob Constanti as well coming in and really just trying to, I guess, play the game plan, see what we've changed over the pre-season, try and get the boys to run out the game. And we saw some really good signs. And it was nice that even with the pink team really coming back in that second quarter and putting us under a bit of pressure, even though we're both us. But I think we saw some really strong results, what we've been trying to do over the pre-season.
And it looked like you're switching guys around a bit in the second half too.
Yeah.
What did you see from some of the younger guys, like a Taylor Goad or a Finbar
Yeah.
Maley, who got a chance to go into the blue side?
Yeah, with Goody, it was really about 12 months development. So he came in really raw, hadn't played a lot of footy last year before he came over from Adelaide. It was really about just trying to allow him to settle into Melbourne. We played him actually a little bit of full back and back pocket last year, just to let him play footy and understand VFL footy at that stage. And I think we just saw the next stage of his development, which was play as a ruckman, which is his position, but spend 12 months under X and develop. And we saw another really good step in his development. Finbar, we can all see Finbar can mark the ball, really strong mark, a really good character around the club. Clearly got some work to do on his kicking, which he works really hard at, and he'll continue to work at that. But even your younger guys like your Finn O'Sullivan, who, a bit of a Rolls Royce on the wing out there, but he's an 18-year-old kid that's ready to play AFL footy now. I know Clarko's already talked about that. It was great to see Whitlock play, down back and have some really good signs. He's still got a bit of development to go, just to name a few.
Saw Sullivan and Colby McKercher sort of rotating to half forward rather than going behind the ball when they went on the ball. Is that, you think, something we'll see during the season too?
That's where they've been training most of the time. Yeah, I think with our team, we've got a fair few mids, half forwards, half backs, if you want to call it that, wings. Probably through the talent we've been able to collect in some draft picks over the last few years. But Colby played majority half back last year, and this year he's done really the whole pre-season more mid forward and where he played a lot of his junior footy. So I think with the addition of Caleb coming in from the Bulldogs into that half back role, it's allowed us to move a couple of players back upfield. And we saw Sheasel again today. He didn't play anything at half back, and he continued on from his second half of last year.
Well, that was what I was going to ask you there. We saw Sheasel float at half forward and even deep forward at times.
Yeah.
Is that, are you trying to, I guess, progress him into that sort of forward type playing midfielder?
I think one of our strengths, or our strength as a footy club, is that we've got a really strong depth through our midfield. As we said, you've got your Sheasel, your McKercher now, Sullivan, but your Powers and Will Phillips. You get Luke Parker, LDU obviously. So we've got plenty of depth through that area. So to fit them all in, you've got to play in other positions. So that's something that we've worked on, whether it's throughout the wing or along your half forward, or it's at times deep forward, just to make sure we can get everyone in the team.
And what about the three guys you brought in Darling, Parker and Daniel? What have they brought this pre-season? And we saw them out there today. They were making an impact on the game.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and I think even with like JD, he might not have marked them all, but he didn't get outmarked. And part of playing as a forward and a big forward is, if you look at all the good defenders in the league, the ability to win the ball back and go back at them. But JD, I don't reckon, got outmarked once. So that was really important for us. But those guys, besides the leadership that they've brought, they've all come in, fit in really well to the group, all really good characters and good people. But it was really good affirmation that we're on the right path. They've all come in and walked into the club. No, you guys are doing some really good stuff here. It's now, let's just keep building on it. And we understand that it takes 1 or 2 years, 3 years to embed what you're trying to do, and then from that you can hopefully start making the jump. And it was just really nice for those guys to come in and give us really good feedback of what we've been doing for the last 2 years.
We saw Aiden Core play a bit, then running the boundary.
Yep.
How's he shaping up for a round one possibility?
Yeah, no, he should be right for round one. So we've had a few blokes that have had limited pre-seasons or some setbacks through the pre-season, or had off-season surgery end of last year. And Aiden Core was just one. I think he popped a ligament in his finger just before Christmas, so it was one of those ones. He could run, he could do a lot of the running, he just couldn't do any footy work really. So He was just a half this week. Next week it might be 3/4. A week after that, full game, and he'll be right for round one. We do have a lot of depth through our keys now, our big backs and that, but he was really important for us last year.
You've mentioned Whitlock. Bailey Scott mentioned him too. Is he a little bit ahead of schedule in terms of what he's showing you, or has he sort of put himself in that frame for?
I mean, if you're talking about where you get selected in the draft, if that's ahead of schedule or not, I wouldn't say that. He's an 18-year-old kid. I think they're all coming in on equal ledger, really. He's just fitted in really well with the group. He can play forward and back. It was just an opportunity to put him in there and see how he went. And as we said, he did some really nice things. Whether he plays round one or not, that's a different story again. Like we've got Darcy, Norton, Hugo Hagan if he's available to play. So we've got a pretty strong forward line that he'll be playing against if he plays.
We saw Larky, Darling and Zerha all function pretty well together. Do you also need to play a ruck forward, or do you think Tristan Sherry can kind of shoulder enough of the load that he can do that?
Yeah, and that's something that we'll continue to look at through the pre-season. I think all clubs will be in the same situation, whether you go the genuine, the second ruck that floats forward, or play one genuine ruck and pinch hit with your Larky or Darling. Something that we'll have to work out over the next few weeks, which way we go with that.
And how were you on the injury front? Was that just cramp for Eddie Ford? Or?
We hope he went down. Like it was a bit worse than cramp. No, but it was only cramp. He thought they were going to wheelbarrow him off at one stage. But no, I'm pretty sure it's clean bill of health. So a couple of cramps, which you always get at this time of year. So he should be fine.
Do you have an update on George Warder at all?
No, I don't. No, he was out there having a bit of a run and kick this morning. You guys probably won't hear it that early, but so we know it's a good hamstring injury, but he seems like he's on schedule to come back. Whether it's round one or after that, but he's making good progress.